I used to think danger was loud. Gunshots, sirens, breaking news alerts. I never imagined it could look like a wedding ring. Or sound like, "I love you." For 2 years, I slept beside a man I believed was building an empire. Ambitious, disciplined, respected. But at 2:17 a.m. on a quiet Thursday morning, red and blue lights painted our bedroom walls. And I learned something that shattered everything I thought I knew. My husband wasn't a businessman. He was a key player in a criminal network the police had been tracking for years. And somehow, I had been living in the center of it. When I first met Daniel, he didn't stand out in a room. He wasn't loud. He wasn't flashy. He didn't try too hard. He just watched, observed, measured his words before speaking. We met at a networking event through a mutual friend. He told me he worked in logistics and regional distribution. The way he explained it made it sound boring. Warehouses, shipping routes, supplier negotiations. Felt stable. Predictable. At that point in my life, that's exactly what I wanted. He courted me slowly. No overwhelming gestures. No love bombing. No drama. Just consistency. Dinner every Friday. Calls every night. Flowers, but not too often. Looking back now, I realize something chilling. He was studying me, learning my habits, my routines, my weaknesses. But at the time, I thought he was simply attentive. Within a year, everything changed. We moved into a gated community. He upgraded his car, and mine, then our furniture. The money seemed to expand quietly. When I asked how business was going, he would smile and say, "Growth phase." I didn't understand logistics enough to question it. And I didn't want to seem ungrateful. When he proposed, he chose a private rooftop restaurant. No crowd, no spectacle, just us. He looked into my eyes and said, "I want to build something permanent with you." Now I know. He already was. Just not what I thought. The first moment something felt wrong wasn't dramatic. It was subtle. Daniel began sleeping with his phone under his pillow. First I teased him. "Are you expecting a midnight shipment?" Joke. He didn't laugh. Instead he said, "Clients operate on different time zones." But the calls didn't sound international. They were short, dark, and he never spoke freely. He would step onto the balcony, even during storms, to finish conversations. Once, I walked into his office without knocking. His laptop screen snapped shut so fast it startled me. He smiled immediately. Too quickly. "What's wrong?" "Yes. Confidential contracts," he replied. His voice was calm, but his hands trembled slightly as he adjusted his cufflinks. That was the first crack. Then came the visitors. They didn't look like businessmen. No briefcases, no smiles, no small talk. They spoke in low tones, sometimes in codes I couldn't understand. One evening I heard something that made my stomach drop. "Route 6 is compromised. We'll reroute through the North Corridor." Route. Corridor. I told myself I was overthinking. Until I saw the cash. It was 1:40 a.m. when I woke up to murmuring downstairs. Daniel wasn't in bed. I walked halfway down the staircase and froze. Two men sat at our dining table. Stacks of money spread out like paperwork. Rubber-banded bundles. One of the men had a scar running from his temple to his jaw. The other kept adjusting something heavy beneath his jacket. Daniel wasn't the man I married in that moment. His posture was different. Dominant. Commanding. "Delay the shipment," he said coldly. "Until the heat cools down." Shipment. Cool down. I stepped back quietly before anyone noticed me. My heart pounded so loudly I thought they could hear it. The next morning, he kissed my forehead and asked if I slept well. I lied and said yes. That's when fear replaced doubt. I started looking for answers, checking drawers, car compartments, jacket pockets, and then I found it. Second phone. Hidden behind a loose wardrobe panel. No photos, no personal messages, just one saved contact, the broker. The conversation history was terrifying. Percentages, drop coordinates, delivery windows, risk assessments. One message read, "Customs paid. Safe window 36 hours. Customs paid." That's when the illusion cracked completely. Daniel wasn't moving legal cargo. He was managing illegal operations. And he was good at it. The night everything collapsed felt strangely peaceful. We were watching a movie. He seemed relaxed, almost relieved. At 2:17 a.m., the power flickered. Then came the screeching tires, heavy boots on pavement, and suddenly, federal agents opened the door. Daniel stood up slowly. No panic, no surprise, just resignation. He looked at me and whispered, "I tried to keep you out of it." The front door exploded inward. Flashlights flooded the house. Officers stormed in with precision. They pinned him down before he could take 2 steps. I screamed his name. An officer grabbed my arm and moved me aside. "Ma'am, step back." As they cuffed him, one of them said, "Regional Distribution Coordinator. Cartel affiliate. We've been building this case for 2 years." 2 years. We had been married for 1. That meant he married me while already under investigation. I wasn't just his wife. I was his shield. The days after felt unreal. News vans outside. Headlines online. Neighbors whispering. They called him strategic logistics operator for an organized trafficking ring. Sanitized phrase. The reality was darker. Authorities showed me financial documents, shell companies, properties, vehicles, bank accounts, all registered under my name. My signature forged on some, real on others. He had slowly integrated me into the structure, without my understanding. If law enforcement hadn't intervened when they did, I might have been arrested alongside him. That realization broke something inside me. Every anniversary, every vacation, every quiet dinner. Was any of it real? Or was I simply a carefully chosen mask? When I finally visited him in detention, he looked thinner, calm. I asked him the question that haunted me. "Did you ever love me?" He didn't answer immediately. He just stared. Then he said, "I needed you safe." That wasn't an answer. That was strategy disguised as care. Daniel is serving a long sentence now. The house is gone. The cars are gone. The life we built was dismantled piece by piece. But sometimes when I close my eyes, I still see him standing in our living room. Calm, composed, as chaos unfolded around us. I used to think criminals looked dangerous. Now I know better. Sometimes they wear wedding rings. Sometimes they cook you breakfast. Sometimes they whisper forever. And sometimes, the person you trust most is the one building a double life, right beside you. The danger wasn't just in what he did. It was in what I didn't know. And that's the essence of deception. The people closest to us may hide worlds we can't even imagine, living double lives in plain sight. Stories like mine aren't just cautionary tales. They are a window into secrets most of us never see. If this story left you shocked or questioning who you can truly trust, drop a comment below. What clue would you have noticed first? Share this story with someone who loves suspense, and hit like if it gripped you. For more real-life inspired mysteries, twists, and shocking revelations, subscribe now and join the Crime Rift community, where every story uncovers a truth waiting in the shadows.